follow your dreams. And they say, do what you want, and money will come.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for checking out the shows that we're doing today. I'm Mike Miller, and my guest is Kaarthik Tharmiya.
Yes. Hi there. I'm Kaarthik.
Appreciate you being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So you've been really busy the past year with the different groups you play with and all the music you're playing around town.
Yeah, for sure. Starting August 2019, I started to get really, really busy because at the end of August 2019, I was officially in 3 different bands. And so there was a lot of juggling, and I was also a full-time student at the time at the University of North Texas studying film. So there was a lot of film projects happening. It was my last year of school, but I also had 3 bands. But I always tell people whenever I tell people like I was so busy, I always tell them I was having I still am pretty busy to this day. I have a lot of fun doing like what I do. I'd rather be busy than be bored all day.
So originally you started majoring in RTVF, and then did you already play guitar when you first started college?
Yes. So I've been playing guitar since I was around 11, but
really?
I only started taking it seriously around age like 15. Is when I rediscovered like music, and I was like, oh wow, this is something that I really like, and I started obsessively watching concert videos on YouTube.
Oh, really?
And just watching all my favorite like artists perform live made me want to do that more.
Where did you go to high school?
So I'm actually from Houston. So I went to high school down there.
Oh, did you?
Yep. So I grew up so I was in Houston from age 13 to about 18. 18 is when I moved to Denton.
And they had a pretty good music scene in Houston all these years.
Yes, but I would say like the rock music scene is kind of lacking there. I'm sure there's a huge pop scene, there's a huge hip hop scene happening down in Houston. There's a lot of good stuff. I know a lot of good friends down there that make some really quality music.
Yeah. Are there any record companies in Houston?
I know they're like Sugar Hill, which is what Beyonce used to go through. I know they're pretty prominent down there.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite sure who else is down there at the moment.
Yeah. Well, she's a big star for sure.
Yeah, no, she came out of Houston, and there are remnants of that still in Houston. So
a lot of the music that you play, I hear classic rock influences.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I've always liked.
Yes, I've always liked classic rock. The first time that I ever heard Iron Man by Black Sabbath, like that intro, it immediately caught me. It was like an immediate like, what is that? And I was immediate curiosity rather than like hearing it a couple times and then checking it out. It was just that's like a memory that I have that I remember specifically actually hearing it. It was on a TV commercial. It was like
really?
And I heard it. Yeah, and I was really intrigued by it. It was actually on the commercial Iron Man movie by Marvel.
Oh,
and
really?
And at the end of the trailer, the TV trailer, they like played the first few measures of Black Sabbath's Iron Man song.
Yeah.
And that intrigued me, and I ended up looking it up on the internet and finding out what this is and what this whole new world that I just opened myself up to is.
Sharon, Ozzy's wife, she's been his manager for a long time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. No, that led to my discovery of Ozzy Osbourne. And at the time when I discovered music, Ozzy was at the time that I discovered rock music, Ozzy was playing with his guitarist Zakk Wylde.
Zakk Wylde.
And and I got really into Zakk Wylde. I got really into Ozzy. And I somehow ended up getting really into Michael Jackson around the time.
Yeah.
And Slash from Guns N' Roses has done a few collabs with him, and I ended up discovering Slash through that. And it was just a snowball effect of discovering music, just like how anyone would discover music. Just like you would find all the artists that are connected to these people.
Yeah. Do you like the way Slash plays guitar?
I really I really admire his playing. I really admire his style and attitude
Yeah,
over anything. He's not very technical in his playing, but
really.
what he does play does translate really well. You know.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have been influenced by his style.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I can't play well enough to understand what he's doing.
Yeah.
They had some great records for sure.
Yeah, for sure. The Guns N' Roses really broke out.
So, the main band that you sing in is Radio Whore right now at this time?
Yes. So we either we either refer to the band as Radio War or Radio Horror, depending on what platform we're on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just some. I mean, it started out as Radio War, but then it like immediately when somebody pointed it out, it was an immediate like run on the joke of, oh yeah, it does look like horror, and Radio Horror is also kind of cool.
But you leave the H out. It's just WORE.
Yeah, yeah. So the original we wanted to be our Radio War, like WAR.
Oh, really?
But yeah, but it was taken, but also I wanted to we wanted to twist the meaning a little bit
Yeah.
of the thing, and
Listen to music on the internet mainly?
I do mainly use the internet to listen to music, but recently the one of the radio stations I've recently fell in love with is KXT 91.7.
Yeah.
They play. They're a non-commercial radio station, so they're always playing music or always showing off local artists, doing interviews, making sure like the latest, greatest indie artists are being heard, and I love that aspect of things.
Has any of y'all's music been out there yet?
Not yet, but we have been played on 97.1 The Eagle,
97.
which is the local hard rock station.
Yeah. That's great to be associated with 97.1.
Yeah, they also love to show off local talent.
Yeah, that's great. They've been around for a long time.
Hmm.
I've listened to some of those programs. So you write songs too.
Yes, that's correct.
You've been writing most of the songs that y'all been releasing as Radio War.
Yes. So how Radio War worked is it originally started out as a three-piece band back in 2017.
Oh, really?
So it was actually a three-piece band all the way up until quarantine happened.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so around the time quarantine happened, one of the other projects I was in was called Peyote Peasants with my really good friend Ben Gerber and Jonah Trackman, who Jonah Trackman you've actually interviewed before.
Yeah.
So I actually met them here at Killers, and I remember I was watching them from over there in that corner, and I was thinking, wow, these guys are playing blues rock music just like I do, and they're about my age, and this is really cool, and I got to get to know them. Eventually, summer 2019, we ended up starting a band called Peyote Peasants, and we wanted to be like a psychedelic rock band, just like a throwback to the 60s. Ben writes some really awesome psychedelic songs.
Yeah.
So we ended up creating a group around it. But we always had issues finding a drummer. We always had issues really pushing the band because it was starting from scratch. It was a whole new project.
Yeah.
And then a few funny
material.
collaborations. Yeah. And a few funny collaborations between Radio War and Peyote Peasants started happening. We would play shows together, and then Peyote Peasants' drummer wouldn't show up, and Radio War's drummer would just sit in and play the songs.
Yeah.
And he got familiar with them. And so this kind of back and forth kind of kept happening, and I realized, oh wow, we're the same people in the same band, but in a different band.
Yeah.
And Radio War has been a band that I had been building up so it's actually been 3 years
really?
to this month. So September 2017 is when we started. So it's been around for about 3 years. It's already been established. People know about it. We've been played on the radio a couple times.
Yeah.
And Ben Gerber was somebody that I actually wanted him to join into Radio War because I really liked his writing style.
Yeah.
His voice was a really good classic rock, super it's definitely up my alley. And so recently, about two and a half, maybe even 3 months ago, we decided to just combine efforts and just go under Radio War and bring all the Peyote Peasant songs into our category. And so that now we have double the amount of songs we originally had, so we can start playing and recording more.
And that's Miser Studio?
Yes. So we've been recording with our really good friend, Michael Zane Rosser, who owns Miser Studios.
Miser Studio.
That's been a project of his, which he's been like slowly working on.
Yeah.
And that's another project that, so about two and a half years, and we talked about this plan that we had for so he had a plan to do a recording studio, and I've always been into video, like I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
So I've been wanting to do like studio sessions and live streams and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing because we did our first live stream from Miser Studios 2 weeks ago as Radio War.
Yeah.
And that's been a couple years in the making. That's been kind of like a vision that we've had of build a really cool studio, get the best audio that we can, and also get the best video that we can. And Ethan Bouchard from the band Strongwork that I'm in has been also helping with the video aspect of things, because he's also very good at that stuff.
Yeah, and I watched a video the other night in that studio, I believe.
Yes, yeah, for sure. So like Ethan's been doing Not Normal productions for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
To go about it nowadays.
When you were going to school, or even like now, have you thought about making some feature-length movies and things like that too?
Yeah. So throughout my years at UNT, I ended up working on about 10, maybe 11 different short films.
Really?
I haven't really feature films are kind of hard to approach just because of the planning and the budget. But if we have a good script and the budget, I would love to do a featured film. Like that's definitely like in a bucket list of mine.
And that's the only way we know about so many bands from the past, is just by watching videos that were made years ago.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle of musicians that get inspired by watching other musicians.
Yeah.
And really analyzing and picking up techniques and stuff. That's where I get like my stage presence from, just watching my heroes perform.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. What kind of guitars do you usually play?
So I've been a Les Paul player for now 5 years.
Really? Yeah.
I've been wanting to try out a Telecaster because the more music I play, the more I realize that like there's a little bit of twang in anything that I write, and I think like having a guitar that responds to that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, with a whammy bar.
Yeah, with either a whammy bar or just like the pickup setup for a Telecaster just gives you that like twang, that southern feel.
Yeah, it's been used on a lot of records, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean Led Zeppelin is like people always think, Led Zeppelin only used Les Pauls. That's not true. Like Jimmy Page used a Tele for a long time.
Yeah, and he had that one guitar with the two necks.
Yeah, the SG, the double
SG.
neck SG. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which one was where he played the violin bow?
I've seen him do that on his Les Paul a lot, where he'll just pull out the bow and he would play his Les Paul.
Yeah, he was pretty creative, I thought.
Yeah, no, he definitely changed the way people approached rock guitar for sure.
Yeah, and like take blues and turn it into what they turned it into.
Exactly. Yeah, well, a lot of people give Led Zeppelin flack for stealing or copying music, but I feel like they just took the blues and electrified it to a crazy extent. That's not to dismiss some of their weird stealing antics sometimes, but I feel like covering songs and stuff, it's always like on a fine line of don't cover it exactly the way they do it, but also make it your own kind of,
Yeah, make it your own. Yeah.
But also give credit where credit is due is something that I really love to stand by.
Yeah, and I guess all writers have to, even if you write novels, that you have picked up things from other novelists, and use some of their techniques and so on, and subject matter, whatever. But there's always the legalistic part of it, copyright.
For sure.
Or a lot of gray areas in there, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of estates even. There's always lawsuits happening of chord progressions and stuff.
Yeah, people think they've stole each other's songs or whatever, but
yeah.
So, what do you plan to do this next year, more or less, musically?
So, we So Radio War and Strong Work, we have plans to just release video content.
Yeah.
That's been our big focus. Now that we can't play shows, it's been a secret blessing in a way, but also it's hard because last couple years we've spent just crafting our live performance.
Yeah.
And we realized when this all happened, our studio etiquette and our studio practices lacked. So we're getting a lot more comfortable in the studio. So by the time that shows are finally happening, when we do go play live, like we're gonna be solid. We're gonna know exactly how to play every song, and the recording process itself makes you a better musician.
Yeah, you have to really take your songs apart to get
For sure.
good recordings. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you letting me interview you and talk a little more about what all you're doing, and I've enjoyed the music that I've heard that you guys have been doing, and I hope you have very good luck with it all in the next years.
Of course.
And so we're going to include some video with the show that you made some of these, and some other of your friends have made some of these, I guess.
Yeah. Do you mind if I say some final words and announcements of things we have going?
Yeah.
So the next release that we're going to do is on Halloween, October 31st. We're going to be releasing a Nirvana cover. So we did a cover of a Nirvana song, and I'm going to finally on this interview announce what song it is. We covered the song "Serve the Servants" of their third album, In Utero.
Really?
It's the first track on In Utero, and we took a cool avant-garde approach to it. We kept the basic structure of the song, but we added other instruments, and we just kind of really thickened up the arrangement a little bit.
That's
that was a cool project to take on. And then we have another song called "Same Old Song." It'll be our first original song with a new lineup.
Yeah.
And that's a song that I believe I shared with you the other week when I showed you on my phone. It's like that Aerosmith esque blues rock song that we have.
Yeah, and Michael been recording y'all that evening.
Yeah, so Michael from Miser Studios recorded that song for us, and he's also working on a couple other tracks with us. But it's been a balance between recording songs and also doing the live streams through Not Normal Productions. And so we're trying to get other artists to come in and do sessions with Miser and Not Normal, and do live streams and kind of get that aspect of it going, not just focus on our projects, but also focus on helping the music community here around us, and trying to help them just reach a group of people with their music.
Yeah. Well, that sounds great, and I really do appreciate it. And again, wish y'all the very best of luck. And
of course, thank you for having me on here.
You're welcome. So thank you all for watching, and hope you have a great day and continue to check out the shows. I really do appreciate it. So take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have reached their end, and I'm just a common fool. That's a fool that you hurt you. Walking in the dark space, the road we travel laid out before you goes to nothing without a trace. When the holy light what's all this waiting for? Halfway around the world, what more am I to do? Should I just serve you? Time and time again, my wits have reached their peak, and I'm just so coming through. That's a fool that you might say. Thank you.
Hello. Y'all ready to smoke and groove? Y'all ready to smoke? It's time to smoke. John's gonna start the smoke break off. Skips.
feeling dead, 'cause I'd rather be driving on. Oh, it's getting loud, flowing through as I'm hazing out. Behind me, no sirens well, bail me out, 'cause I'm going to jail, baby. Smoking and I'm grooving, choking and I'm feeling good. Choking and I'm grooving, smoking and I'm feeling loose. Smoking and I'm feeling good. Choking 'cause it ups my mood. Choking and I'm feeling good. Choking and I'm feeling loose.
follow your dreams. And they say, do what you want, and money will come.